Alright, so today's delivery day. I just got the text message saying that they're here, so let's go check it out. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be revealing my bike. It's a 2017 Triumph Street Cup. I bought it with only 1,500 miles on it. It's a pretty rare bike. We're going to go on the road later and ride it and show you guys kind of how it feels. But it's a 2017 model. It belongs to the Triumph Bonneville family, the Street family in more specific. For those who know the Triumph families, the Triumph bikes in particular, this is the Street series. I think in 2022 they've updated the name to Speed 900, but at the time it was the Street series, which has the 900cc parallel twin engine. High torque engine, produces about 55 horsepower and about 59 foot-pounds of torque. So not crazy powerful. A lot of people think that, you know, with the 900cc engine is going to be crazy powerful, but it's actually not that powerful. Just enough for commuting and city driving, I would say. It's completely stock other than quad lock here and a sticker here. This checkered flag sticker, I believe, is installed by the previous owner, I want to say. This checkered flag sticker is definitely not stock, and I'm probably going to be removing that because I don't like it. So this is the Street Cup. It is trying to be a cafe racer style. So it has like a front guard here, which does nothing. We'll talk about that later. And the more important thing is it has this really, really beautiful looking rear seat cowl right here. A lot of the cafe style bikes has that. Other than that, there's nothing really much to say. We'll get onto the road and we'll talk more about it. Nothing I really like also is that it has the dual analog dials and it just looks so good. But let's fire it up and let's have a listen to the engine and we'll hit the road. .900cc parallel twin. You can see that the whole chassis kind of moves a little when I rev the engine. Sounds amazing. All right, let's hit the road. So 2017 Triumph Street Cup, 55 horsepower, 59 foot-pounds of torque. Not a crazy amount, but definitely enough for just daily commuting and city riding. A lot of people, you know, when they hear 900cc, a lot of people will be like, hey, it's almost a liter bike. Like, oh my gosh, this is going to be crazy powerful. Am I going to be able to handle this? And honestly, I think that comparing to, like, let's say Gixxer 600 or Yamaha R6 or something like that, those bike has the potential to go at much higher speeds compared to this, because the engine and the way that the bike is designed is completely different. So this bike is definitely more of a city riding, you know, just cruising. Not long road trips though, because your back is gonna hurt a lot if you ride this on long road trips, but just daily commuting, you know, not too crazy long distance, this is the perfect bike. And what's also really nice about it is that 59 foot-pounds of torque, I believe peaked at around 3,200 RPM or 3,250, somewhere around that area, which makes it very good in commuting short distances because you have a lot of torque down low, as we could probably experience a little bit later. There you go, see? Woo! Very, 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 very good on power. Plenty of power. Definitely enough for just daily commuting. We're going to get on the highway later and kind of experience what that is like. But just in the neighborhoods, let's take it a little easier. So on brakes, this has 310 millimeter single disc up front with 2 piston Nissan calipers, and I want to say 255 in the rear. Correct me if I'm wrong, leave a comment down below. Also dual piston Nissan calipers. They are enough, I would say. I would prefer especially the front brakes, maybe because it's a single disc. At the speeds normal that you're just commuting, it should be enough for what it's designed to do, I guess. But I honestly would say that I would prefer the bite of the front brakes to be a little sharper. Basically, you would feel that you would have to give in a little bit more pressure on the front brakes to do what you want it to do, a little bit more than what you're expecting. So I would say if the front brakes could have a more stronger bite, will probably help. Maybe brake pads would help. I don't know. Right now this bike is completely stock, so we're going to get onto the highway and kind of experience what it's like on a highway. Plenty of power. Going on the on-ramp. Handles perfectly. So smooth. One thing that's really amazing about this bike is just it's so smooth. Alright, we're getting on the highway now. We're at 65. So it's definitely able to get up to speed, and so far I haven't found any trouble with passing vehicles and all that. And also another thing to note is that this bike only has 5 gears, which is a concern of mine in the beginning. Before I purchased this bike, I was concerned that, a 900cc bike, I'm going to be traveling on the highways, is having only 5 gears going to be a problem. And I can tell you that it is not going to be a problem. Yes, it will probably be nice to have a 6th gear. I'm not going to deny that. However, the gears are spaced perfectly. The first gear is very usable. Compared to my GTI has 6 gears, which is nice, yes, but the first gear is pretty much useless. A lot of times I would just start off at 2nd gear unless it is an uphill situation. So having 6 gears really benefit a lot. I guess it depends from person to person on how you use the bike. But for what this bike is and how I'm using it just to commute daily, 5 gears is enough. It's good. The gear ratios are spaced out perfectly. Another thing to say is this guy right here. This kind of a small wind deflector, I guess, is completely and 100% for styling. It is absolutely, functionality-wise, useless. It does absolutely nothing. It's not going to block any wind. You will still feel the wind at highway speeds rushing up your upper body, your helmet, and everything. It's not going to do anything. So don't expect this small little wind deflector to be very, very useful. It is completely for styling purposes. So smooth. This feels so good. Downshifting, so smooth. With the GoPro mounted on the camera, with the GoPro mounted on the helmet, when I look left, the camera hits my shoulder. That's kind of funny. What else? So another thing to look for if you're looking for in the used market for a street family bike, One of the reasons I chose this was mostly because of the looks, I have to say. The Triumph, for those who are familiar with the Triumph family bikes, the Thruxton is beautiful, definitely a masterpiece, but it's just a little overpriced in my opinion, especially the new ones. I think they're asking for like, I don't know, I think 14 or 16. This one in the used market, I got it definitely below 10,000, which is what I am targeting, because I don't want to spend more than 10,000 for my first bike here. So yeah, the main reason I got this bike is for the looks. It just looks so good. It's got the proper cafe kind of a style. You know, a lot of the neo retro styled bike, there aren't that retro in my opinion. Yes, they have like, you know, halogen lights or something and like a dual analog clock, but they just don't look that retro. But this bike with the seat cowl at the back and the front little wind deflector here, it just looks amazing. So that's one of the main reasons I chose this over the other bikes. Comparing this with other street family bikes like the Street Twin and Scramblers, I believe this is the only street family bike that has dual analog dials, which if you just look at it, it just looks so good. I do not like digital dials, especially for retro bikes. I think having digital dials just kind of ruins the look. So with this having dual analog dials, it just looks so perfect. It makes the bike, it basically completes the look of the bike. We're going through some twisty mountain roads here. Oh, handles amazing. The tires here are not stock. I forgot to mention that. I believe this one is the Avon, one of the Avon tires. I don't remember in detail which one, but it's not the Phantom that came with stock. So this tire, from the reviews, is a little better. I have not experienced the Phantom ones because when I got the bike, it's already been updated to the Avon ones. But yeah, I think the handling is great. I don't really have any complaints on the handling. However, as for the riding position and I guess the riding position and how comfortable it is for short distances, I think this is perfectly fine. However, I will mention for those who are considering getting a street cup, just keep in mind that because the front bars are a little lower, so you're leaning a little bit toward leaning forwards a little bit. And yes, this is mostly because of the styling. If you look up a lot of the cafe styled motorcycles, the riding position is a little bit more aggressive. Maybe not as aggressive as like a Panigale or something like that, but it's still, you're going to be leaning forwards a little bit. And just keep that in mind if you're riding long distances. You're going to feel it on your back. You have to make sure that you use your legs, your thighs to kind of grab the gas tank so that you don't really have to use your back muscles. You have to keep reminding yourself to do that. And once you get used to it, it's fine. It's not that bad. But it's just something that I'd want to warn people for those who are considering getting this bike. This bike is also pretty rare. Correct me if I'm wrong, leave a comment down below, but I so far can only find 17 and 18 models, at least in North America. I know they obviously don't produce this anymore, but I don't know why. I think I'm only able to find 17 and 18 year models, which means that if it's only 2 years in North America, then it's pretty rare. So a lot of people, even for those who know Triumph pretty well, at gas stations, people will walk up to you and stuff. They'll be like, hey, I've never seen this before. And it brings pretty interesting conversations because not a lot of people know about this bike, but it's actually pretty much just a street twin with some slight modifications. The front tires, I believe, is a little larger. I think is one size up compared to the street twin. And that may have some effect of the handling, better or worse. I think maybe that's just, from person to person, you may feel differently. But so far with this bike, it's perfectly fine with me. Oh, look at the scenery. We're getting close to snowing and road on salt season, so I don't have much more time to ride here. But before the winter season officially starts, I'd like to reveal this bike to show you guys what I have, because I actually bought this bike about a year ago, and I was not able to film it because I can't find the right microphone setup. It was a struggle, and every time I'm filming my GTI, I would have to stash my bike outside and put it somewhere else so the camera won't see it. All right, let's do a pull here. Yes! So it's got plenty of power. Absolutely plenty of power. Enough for just daily commuting, city riding. If you want to, use this bike on a racetrack, it's probably not the best idea, even though the riding position may seem so, because it's a little aggressive. You're leaning towards the front a little bit. But yeah, just daily commuting, plenty of power, definitely enough. Once it goes above like maybe 65, 70 miles an hour, you'll start to feel like, a little lack of power. But still, like, it's to get up to speed to like the speed limit, no problem at all. Oh man, it just feels so good. All right, let's do a little hill climb here. Smooth. I believe this bike also has what is called slip adjust clutch, which means that when you downshift, if you don't blip the throttle, or if you don't blip enough, it doesn't punish you as much. It won't just lock up the rear tires and you'll skid out. You still feel it. You still feel like, because the RPM is going to, the engine speed is going to try and catch the transmission speed, so you'll still feel it for sure, but it's not as bad. Again, it's an assist. It's not really going to be doing the downshift, blipping the throttle for you. It's not the complete automatic system. But it definitely helps, I would say. It definitely helps. It's a little bit more forgiving. This bike also has traction control and ABS. Traction control can be turned on or off, but I believe ABS is always on. In order to turn that off, you probably have to pull out a fuse or something like that. I've never tried it, but just for your information, if you're thinking of getting a bike like this. I don't know what modifications I'm going to be doing with this. Maybe an exhaust, maybe not. I don't know yet, but just want to make this video, reveal this bike out there. And if you have any questions, leave a comment down below. If you're also thinking of getting this bike, if you have any other questions, comments, please just leave them down below. Subscribe, hit the like button. Took me a lot of tries to film this video because of the microphone setup. Hopefully this one turns out good, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace. Let's do one more pull, just one more.